One of the key treasures of the International Congress and Convention Association is its huge database of association meetings. But how can members get the most from this, and how can they best support it? Well, I've come along to the Research, Sales and Marketing Programme in Amsterdam to find out. Marco, I was privileged enough to be in one of your sessions earlier today, and it was all about the ICCA database, which, as I said in my introduction, is quite a treasure when it comes to ICCA and also to being an ICCA member. So first of all, give us some insight into the database itself.
Okay, we've been tracking association meetings for over 3 decades now. We are very privileged to have a big group of researchers who do full-time research on making the profiles not only quality but also quantity-wise as valuable as possible to our members. At the moment, the database contains some 20,000 leads in total, so it's really what we call a monster in a positive way. But you can imagine that not only for us as researchers, it's sometimes tricky to maintain all the data, but also for our members, for the users, to actually work with it in a meaningful way can also be a challenge. So this is why the RSMP is one of the big occasions for us to educate the members how to work the data and how to get the leads that they're really looking for. One of our main sources, of course, are the international associations themselves. Right. What we want to hear is from the horse's mouth, and only the associations can tell us very important details like first open year for a meeting, preferred meeting month, stuff like that. Nobody else can tell us but the associations. And we are now setting up an association portal on our website where associations are able to log in again and see their profile and actually make corrections and changes.
Fantastic. Well, that's what a very scientific way of going about it, which of course you need, don't you, when you're talking about a database. With respect to the members themselves, first of all, I know we could probably talk about this for an hour, but briefly, how can they initially start to get the most from that database?
Zooming in on the information. When you make a general search, a very generic search, you end up with hundreds and hundreds of profiles for your destination. I gave the example today of Australia, just a very basic search, and it ended up with almost 1,000 leads. So that's too much because many of our members have only 1 or 2 people doing the research for the destination. So what they need to do is zoom in on the information. And our advice normally is look at the subject matter of the meeting. What are my strengths and weaknesses as a destination? Am I good at maritime? I'm just thinking about Holland. Am I good at science? Am I good at medical? So zoom in on the information and look at your qualities. Also consider the size of the meetings. Am I looking for the big fish or am I looking for the smaller fish? All these things can help you by narrowing down the amount of leads that you will end up with.
And I suppose because a lot of these, well, all of the association meetings tend to be on a cycle. It's looking at kind of when the last one was, when it was last in your destination or close by. Yeah. They're critical points as well, aren't they?
Definitely. Our generic search always includes the search criterion. The meeting that you're looking for must not have been to my country for some 10 to 15 years. If a meeting has been to, let's say, Paris, it's not coming back to Bordeaux, it's not coming back to any other Lyon, it's not coming back to any other French city in the next coming 10 or 15 years, in the association world at least. And that's the difference with the corporate market. There you can have return business. Association is not return business, it's really rotating. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and that is obviously a very key element. And as we've just discussed, it's all about being very strategic in the way that you use the database. Now, of course, members themselves can really help support it as well, can't they? So tell us about that.
Yeah, it's a very good point. We have 12 people doing full-time research, but we can't do it all by ourselves. So we need the help of the members, for sure. 2 years ago, in our viewpoint, research is not always the most appreciated or valued part of a daily office routine. And we think, of course, it's very important. So we came up with a little award, a little prize. It's called the Researcher of the Month. And every month we award one of the people, there are 4 people actually present here at the RSMP, who are very active in contributing information and giving us good quality information that we can almost immediately enter into the database.
So what they do is basically, as part of their job, researching leads for their own company, whether it's destination, venue, hotel or whatever, they then share that with you while they're doing it. Is that it?
They take the trouble of sharing the information with us, and through us they share it with the rest of the membership. But this is not so much taking trouble, I think, because this is really the pillar on which I think ICCA is based, the free exchange of information between members.
And it is quite important, this, isn't it? Because people hearing this would think, what are they doing? They're sharing their leads. How on earth do you get them to do that? But of course, the situation is that the cycles that we've talked about means that there's really no problem in doing that.
It's a totally open culture in that respect, and that's what makes it fun for me. I've been doing this job for 20 years now, and that's what still excites me, that you have nothing to lose by sharing information. You don't need to fear the competition in that respect. Yeah.
And it's a good philosophy that I always like anyway. Don't think about competition, think about opportunity.
Yeah, we have many ways of sharing that information through the business exchange, for instance. We have the event insiders, which is like a virtual business exchange. But we always encourage our members, if you look at the historical data of a meeting and you see that, hey, in 2012 the meeting was in Paris, in Vienna. I know somebody in Paris, I know somebody in Vienna. I'm going to pick up the phone and ask that person for more details. That can help me in my lead generation.
That's fantastic. Well, it really is an organic process, and I guess that really fits in with the philosophy behind ICCA. Marco, thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you very much, Ian. Thank you.